Hi, Assalamualaikum and good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining this session. Welcome, everyone. Just before we start, okay, I would like to remind you about some basic housekeeping. Okay, if possible, can you keep your microphone in the mute mode, and you can feel free to unmute that whenever you want to ask questions. And for the video, I leave it to you to decide whichever convenient for you for throughout the session. Okay, but if possible, the microphone, if possible, keep it mute, and you can somehow you can feel it to unmute when you want to ask any questions. Okay, before we start, let me check. Mr. Zafan is here already. I think others can come, as we move on. Why we pick this topic about the sustainability reporting and projects creations, okay, for energy industry practitioners. Actually, this is a continuation of the session on December, all right, we talk about the what is net zero and carbon reporting, right? And then somehow when I met Mr. Zafwan, he wanted to go a little bit deeper, focusing on the practical part of reporting, okay, and then also how to create projects. This is, I would say, based on his own. I think the most interesting part today, he will share his own hands-on experience, in some of the project itself. So it's quite interesting. In fact, I'm also very, very excited to listen to his presentation. Okay, before I start, I think it would be better. Encik Zafwan, can you just, are you here, right? You are here, right? Yeah, that's Encik Zafwan. Okay. Let me introduce him first, okay, before we start, okay. Encik Zafwan, his full name is Ahmad Zafwan Muhammad Kasim, okay. He's very passionate or enthusiastic in innovation, okay, and also strategic planning and development. Particularly in the area of energy, okay, carbon emission, and also that involves society. He's now doing his master, okay, in sustainability science. Okay, interesting. At the University of Malaya, his research projects on sustainability reporting and on how to understand, okay, the motivation and the reasoning on corporate decision making when it comes to sustainability reporting. Okay, interesting. Okay, very somehow going down. So at present, Cik Zafwan actually working as a consultant with the United Nations Industrial Development Organization Malaysia for the energy efficiency and solar thermal application projects or MESTA project. So Cik Zafwan, for him, the synthesis of ecosystem for project development, okay, together with policy inputs including solar, of course, development strategy. This is his passion, okay. His key strength, okay, I would say, basically include energy management, audit process, project management, design thinking, theory of change, technical investigation, and also training. He's also a passionate trainer. I think he wants to share his knowledge and hands-on experience to many parties. Okay, and I think Encik Zafwan also is a committee member of the Malaysia Association of the Energy Registered Energy Manager Malaysia, or MARIM. Okay, MARIM has the portfolio on training. Interesting. Okay. Before I start, I hand over the screen to Mr. Zafwan. Let me share something for those who came for the last session, may have seen this, but I just like to review this, to reshare with you so that maybe you can somehow just to key off, what Encik Zafwan will share later. Okay. Okay, this one. Okay, I think you heard about this. Okay. We are moving towards, globally, we are moving towards net zero by 2050. The roadmap was published by IEA last year. Okay, and then Asia is moving towards net zero by 2030. In Japan, by 2050, carbon neutrality. Okay, it started much earlier. Even they have law on that. In Europe, okay, again Europe, 250 as well. Okay, and then Saudi reached last year. Okay, but they have so much money to pump in 180 billion to achieve that result by 2050. Okay, and then the COP26 last year. Okay, there are more consensus on how action to be taken. Okay, to address climate change, all related to sustainable development and also carbon footprint. And then the focus will be on business. Okay, so this is very, very important. Businesses must take the lead when it comes to the towards achieving the net zero. All right. Okay, Malaysia, some our company, Petronas has set target to become net zero by 2050. Maybank, all right, and other bank as well, National by 2050 as well. All right, and then we have committed as a country, as announced under 12 Malaysia Plan speech by the Prime Minister. We would like to reach the carbon neutral by 2050. We are committed, okay, and in all that in 12 Malaysia Plan stated quite detail on how we are going to go to reach that. All right. And this is related to our presentation today. All right. So we have been reporting. Okay. And then we need to have the framework for the reporting or how to measure the carbon. And we have some projects on this by United Nations, UNDP. And then this is new last year. Okay, when announced last year, carbon trading to be implemented, in phases next year, means that this year, 2022. Okay, how to report then? Okay, and this is the current guide on the carbon market reporting now. All right, so I think that's all from me. Just to kick off some idea. Okay, this somehow I think related to what Encik Zafran will share later. Okay.
Can follow me.
Now hand over the screen to you, Encik Zafran, please.
Keisha.
Okay. Thank you very much. Everyone, let me share the slide first.
I say one of the ordinary product I bought, right? Because my skin peel, I don't know where to school.
Zafran, you unmute. Zafran, can you unmute yourself? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Okay now.
Can you see the slide?
Yeah.
Okay. Assalamualaikum and good evening. I'm Zafran. Okay, for today's presentations, we will discuss on the sustainability reporting and project creation for energy industry and practitioner. Actually, when Zaini called me in December actually, so discuss whether he has an opportunity to join his platform to give presentations. So I think rather than talking about normally. We focus more on the technical project. We focus on the technical information. I think it's good if I can share our own experience. Actually, this one based on my involvement in UNIDO, my star project. Most of the information comes from that involvement, and plus with my master degree that I'm doing right now in sustainability science, where I took some experience from UNIDO. Which is I make it involved in one of the paper project in my class. Then we found something quite interesting. So that's what I try to share with you. Okay. Okay. For introductions, you can see here I put practitioner, company, and institutional. This is a common practice right now for those who are REM or Certified Energy Manager or Energy Manager. So mostly the way we create project or we involve with project with the company or institutional at in industry and buildings. So we involve with the energy management, energy audit, energy efficiency, renewable energy, and some really go into the training. And this project normally we derive from IMA 2008 requirement. So some practitioner write REM we will scroll out from ST list, right? Which company that already fall under these regulations, and then we start contact and try to engage to provide our services, right? And then for those who are certified energy manager involved with the AMAS, EMGS, Energy Management Gold Standard, mostly related with the hospital support services requirement for public hospital sectors. Then some already practice energy management system, ISO 20001, and the rest, this is quite seasonal, right? For energy audit grant, like in 2016 until 2018, when the government have allocation for energy audit grant, we can see the pattern. A lot of company, ESCO, have a good project. Then once the grant completed, then the activity comes slow. Then from this project, when I involved in UNIDO project, I found there's something that we might miss out about this, which is something's quite big, which is sustainability reporting. So for practitioner, we can start, probably we can learn sustainability development, sustainability reporting to improve our service provide, our services to the client, or we can add into our project profiling, okay, to approach to the company. Then for the company who involved with the sustainability reporting, you also can look this where you can approach the practitioner actually to help you in terms of developments of. I'm not saying that the technicality of for this talk is not focused on the technicality of the providing reporting or writing the reporting, but this more on general how we can look into sustainability reporting for services development or for improvement of the company and also for the practitioner. Okay, that's the whole idea of this presentation. Okay, this is experience based on one. Actually, it's totally based on UNIDO MyStar project. For those, I'm not sure how many people know about this project. So this project actually, UNIDO stands for United Nations Industrial Development Organization. So currently I'm working with UNIDO for MyStar project, and MyStar stands for Malaysia Energy Efficiency, which is focused on the thermal and solar thermal application. So this project already started in July 2014 until now, where I'm involved, be on board in March 2019. So during that time, my role actually to work on getting solar thermal real project, demonstration project. Okay, so from March until February 2020, we do a lot of strategy to get a project. We approach companies. So this is actually from this experience, then we realized some pattern. So in general, when I start doing this project, we work with state agency and also for the federal agency, name it SEDA, ST, MGTC, MIDA, to create the what I call the project ecosystem. Then we also approach state agency. Mostly we work close with the 4 state, which is Johor. We work closely with IRDA. In Terengganu, we work with YPU, Yayasan Pembangunan Usahawan Terengganu. We work with ECRDC, which is for the agency which focus on the East Coast development. We work close with in Sarawak. We work with Sarawak Energy Development Corporation, and also we work in Selangor. We work with Invest Selangor Berhad. So we work close with them to approach the industry in their state. Okay, from that collaboration, actually, we managed to reach about more than 120. It's around 120 to 130 to 140 companies. So from that list, we go more deeper, where we conduct site visit around 20 to 30 companies, okay, to understand their business need. Actually, the whole idea, because we want to promote solar thermal for their application, okay. That's why we go more deeper. Why we need to work more deeper? Because first, thermal energy not regulated, which is not regulated at all in Malaysia at the moment. We are waiting for a new act we call EECA to be implemented. Then later they will regulate this thermal energy. But at the moment, it's not regulated at all. And second, when we work with solar thermal, this is not listed in Renewable Energy Act. Okay, that's the most interesting part of this project, because thermal is not regulated, and also solar thermal is not in Renewable Energy Act. So we have to work harder to approach company to promote this project. So what we did, we go more deeper with the company. So from 20 to 30 companies, we do a lot of engagement, and then from that we managed to get about around 10 companies for detailed engagement. We worked quite several months with the company to understand what their needs. Okay, so from there actually we have some information from this. Okay. Okay, this from my experience from UNIDO, when I did my currently I'm enrolled in master program. So one of the subject I took on the sustainability issue. So in that subject, I have project assignment. So from that project assignment, I try to bring the real case study. So I bring all the experience from the UNIDO, then I put in this project assignment. The main of project assignment actually, I want to understand how company make a decision, what their motivation to do sustainability development, and then what's the reasoning. So actually from this project already improved to become my final year project. My final year project, I also do sustainability reporting to understand the reasoning why company make decision. So actually, I'm studying from the ethical point of from the sustainability ethic point of view, how the company make decisions. Okay, I hope from this sharing actually we can find something which is before this I don't realize about this. That's why I'm excited to share with you, especially for the practitioner. You might see this new perspective to be one of your what you call channel or expose for your providing services. And for those who are from the company, you also might get some information from this, how we can learn from these 6 company, the way how they make a decision and what they're concerned. Okay, you can see from this table actually, I have 6 company. So I don't put the real company names. Just from company origin, you can see company A, which is origin from Malaysia. It's a Malaysia company. It's a public listed company involved in the. So actually, when we work with the specific to the site, actually we work with the private limited company, which is 100% owned by public listed. Okay, so in this company, they involved in the bulking services, target market local. Then when we approach them, how they start to work close with us until several months actually. That one before COVID happened. So this project actually stopped because of COVID. Then we can see the fundamental motivations where the company really look into sustainability project. Even when we approach the company already have a fund, a quite huge fund, about 1 million fund to create sustainability project, to define project. So this is where the practitioner you can help the company, because you can see the company actually need to improve their sustainability project, their sustainability reporting. Okay, so all this while we only approach based on email, we approach based on EMAS, but actually there's another perspective that we can see from sustainability development project. Okay, when we approach the company, they have a fund, but they need to create a project. They need a system from us to get a project. So that's how we engage with the company. Okay? And then company B, you can see is a Malaysian company, also public listed, oleochemical. We are working with them, same reason, sustainability project and reporting. So company B right now working close with us for solar thermal development right now. Okay, again we can see the same pattern, sustainability project and reporting. While we are doing this, I also ask about the email requirements, any involvement with other standard that we are quite familiar, energy audit, energy, like ISO 2001. Okay, some aware about that, some not aware about that. But we can see the drive for the project normally related with sustainability project. One thing, because when we approach the company, I would say not all engineering background. Okay, and we found some company head of sustainability or sustainability manager are not technical people. They are not engineers. Okay, we approached some from science, some from finance. Okay, which are related with the sustainability project. Some from one of the interesting there's we approach one company, the one who is responsible for sustainability report developments come from related to the food industry, the food what I call background, okay, science in food process background. So the language will be different. Okay, that's why this give a good exposure to be when we approach project. Sometimes we need to look from different perspective, from the high perspective. Okay, like this company, when we involve, because we work close with a state agency, so normally they're the one who bring us to the company. So when we approach company, normally we approach from the higher level. We have opportunity to approach directly with the CEO of the company, with the managing director of the company, board of directors of the company. So that's how we start discuss. Okay, from there, that's why the early discussion, not much on the technical. The discussion always on the business direction, on the business impact. Okay, we can see here the third company C, which is joint venture company from US and Malaysia. Both are quite known company. For the US company, it's a big company actually, involved in oleochemical. So you can see the pattern when they discuss with us. Everything's about sustainability project, and they also involved with the reporting. And when we approach company D, this is from US company, medical glove. Okay, this is quite advanced company. It's a new company actually, about a few years in Malaysia. We can see the system quite advanced, quite high energy efficiency for the process making. Because working with Unido, we approach quite a numbers of medical glove company. So I would say this company is quite advanced in terms of the machineries or machines at the processing for glove manufacturing or glove produce. Okay, it's quite advanced, the machine that they use. So when we work with this company, this is quite interesting. When we approach this company, we approach direct with the managing director, and he actually family members of the company main company in the US. So what they say is, when we approach them, they say the product's very competitive in terms of price. They are not worried about that, but they are facing a problem because the factory located in Malaysia, they are not competitive in terms of carbon footprint. Okay, that's quite a risk for them actually, because the demand from the industry demand, actually the hospital practice, now they put quite stringent requirement to supply medical glove, okay, in terms of sustainability. Especially if your product now, you know the issue, any glove come from Malaysia, they'll always have an issue with the sustainability, especially on the social part, okay, on the social impact. So that's become one of the critical for them. Okay, that's what I realized. Okay, this is quite interesting, because the motivation, the drive for the project, actually you can see from business point of view, not only on the technical itself. Okay, then when we approach company E, this is a food ingredient company, similar, because they have a clients quite big. They have two big clients, food chain company, the fast food company, and the well-known beverage company. Also same, because this client actually, they already involved with the carbon accounting, and they implement the scope 3. That's why to sustain the business, they also need to measure, to have a good performance in terms of carbon footprint. Okay, then that's how they engage with us. So company number 5 right now working with Unido. So we're in the process to kick off the project, okay, for solar thermal. And then company number F, same, is from India. Similar reason, when we approach, they are looking for sustainability project. They have a fund, but they need to create sustainability project. The similar reason, because their demand, the market demand. Okay, that's really give new idea for us. It's not only about the technical, but we really need to understand the business demand right now, the market demand right now. the impose so much on the sustainability, on the carbon performance, okay, on the carbon reduction performance. So this what I think we need to understand also as a practitioner. Okay, from that fundamental motivation, I move into reasoning. That's how I go more detail to understand what is it, what they need to produce. So from that project, we can see like company A, which is located in Malaysia, they need sustainability reporting to Bursa Malaysia. For your information, Bursa Malaysia Sustainability Reporting from Bursa Malaysia already implemented in 2016. So this is a compulsory actually for the company to produce sustainability reporting. Okay, then you can see here company number one, company A, company B, also similar reasons sustainability reporting to Bursa Malaysia. And for the company in oleochemical, they also have RSPO reporting. Okay, and then when we work with the company C, you can see similar because this company actually the project, I mean the stakeholder for Malaysia is a public listed company. So they also demand for sustainability reporting to Bursa Malaysia, and they also commit with a lot of numbers of sustainability reporting standard where they have a GRI. GRI stands for Global Reporting Initiative. They have SASB, Sustainability Accounting Standard Board. Okay, they have CDP, Carbon Development, Carbon Disclosure Project. Okay, you have United Nations SDG, or now we call United Nations Global Compact. Okay, and then RSPO reporting, and also they have a group sustainability reporting itself. They have internal group, which is this is requirement from the US company, where they need to have internal reporting on sustainability report for sustainability development. They have a fund. The company have a fund, but they need to look into the project profiling. When we work with the energy, what kinds of solution they need, okay, what kind of services. That's all things that we discuss with them. Okay, so I think these also can give a new perspective for us. Okay, and then we can see the company D. This is the company that glove making to be competitive in the US market. That's why they need evaluation on carbon footprint. So they're concerned on that. So when they agree with our project last time, definitely 100% because of carbon footprint. When we show them that this by doing thermal energy efficiency and solar thermal solution, we can reduce carbon emissions from their side. So they engage with us just because of that. Immediately they engage with us because of that. And then we have a lot of discussion to learn and to understand how this will influence or will give an impact to their business direction. So that's a really good experience for me. We worked several months with this company actually. Then number 5 is same, the Irish company. The client already committed with scope number 3, like I mentioned before. So they need to come up with a GHG protocol corporate value change. They need to, it's a fundamental, it's a requirement for them. It's a critical for them to have carbon, what it calls carbon accounting. So when we have a discussion with company E last time, what happened if they fail on providing this? The response immediately, they are losing the business. That's it, they are losing the business. So that's how critical about this. Okay. Then company F, similar reason, sustainability development commitment. So we can see how critical the sustainability development. And, okay. Then okay, let me go here. And now this is some conclusion I made from that experience. Okay, from the experience number 1, we exposed with a company, type of company, the based on profiling. Then when I involved with in my master degree, I do more on the project assignments. I analyze the experience that I have on site. Then I can see the pattern where when we work with a public listed company, the drive for energy, even if you work specifically with energy, is always related with the sustainability reporting, their sustainable development. Okay, MNC definitely. And how critical definitely is so critical. If you can you imagine, okay, for the public listed company, this is based on the company F, the food industry, food ingredient company, because I also learned a lot from this company. They serve two clients. So when these two clients already commit with the carbon accounting, so in order to survive their business, they also need to be in that pipeline in the supply chain. So they also need to have carbon reporting, carbon accounting. So can you imagine for those who are running the company, if you are looking opportunity to engage with these kinds of company, you need to be ready with this. You need to develop your own sustainability program. You need to commit with probably some standard or some commitment for to be sustainable. Then only you have a chance to engage business with them. Okay, that's critical. I remember when we do some project discussions, some discussion and talk in Terengganu. So we share about this to the Terengganu side. Okay, and then people from YPU mentioned to me they're quite shocked, and they mentioned that in Terengganu they are not ready for this. They do not know about this. Probably they are not aware about this. Okay, but this is serious matters to look into how the business development in Terengganu, how they need to what they call to assist the business in Terengganu. So it's quite worrying if this remain like this, some of the company quite difficult to grow because of this requirement. So this actually is good information for us as an energy manager, as a practitioner. All this why our approach probably quite, limited to the EMA 2008, quite limited to AMAS as ES gold standard. So we probably can give another perspective to look into sustainability reporting and incorporate with what we already have, what we already experienced from EMA, from AMAS to improve or to what I call to improve or to what should I say, to advance our services in order to provide a good services support to these kinds of company. Okay, that's the main motivation for me actually to share for today. Okay.
Encik Zafwan, may I just quickly, shortly interrupting you.
Yes.
I think Encik Zafwan did mention a few times, frequently about the what EMIR, EMIR and also EMAS. Okay, just for those who are, I think for those who are familiar, they should be okay. I think just for information, EMIR means that a short form of EMEER is for Efficient Management of Electrical Energy Regulation 2008, which is not enforced by Energy Commission, that subject to companies that using electrical energy, more than 3 million kilowatt in 6 months, according to the regulation. And IMAS actually is the ASEAN Energy Management Scheme, right? It's actually an ASEAN promoted scheme on energy management, where they have the rating, they call it Energy Management Gold Standard. Okay, that's all. Just maybe some of the overseer maybe new and not aware about this kind of jargon, right, Mr. Zafwan?
Okay, thank you very much, Zaini.
Yes, you can go
very much.
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, there's another information that I can share with you. Do you know how many company public listed in Malaysia? It's quite a lot, you know. Reporting in 2020, the last 2 years, we have about 956 public listed companies. So you just imagine if the public listed company, there's about 900 over company. So how many companies related business with them? So actually the market, if you're looking from the market perspective, that's huge. The services that we can provide huge. Okay, there's the opportunity out there is huge for us. But what we need to understand, we need to expose more on the sustainability development. Okay, we need some time to learn about sustainability reporting. That from there we can learn, we can get some information how we can provide or how we can advance our services to this company. Okay. Okay. Now we should go to when we want to do sustainability reporting or we want to learn about sustainability. For this sharing session, I will not touch on detailing of the sustainability reporting, the framework, the standard or the guide or how you do reporting. This is not the focus for today. So for today, actually, I want to give more the perspective how sustainability reporting can link into project creation. Okay, so I will not touch on that the framework, standard, and guide. Probably later, or I'm not sure. We can have a second session later on. We can discuss further on
future,
this.
yes, we can have in the future. We are open. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Zaini. So from sustainability reporting, to understand that, definitely we need to learn about sustainable development, and the primary reason, the primary actually triple bottom line. We really need to understand triple bottom line for those who are in sustainable development, for those who are involved with the sustainability reporting. The basic back to triple bottom line. Okay. Then because triple bottom line focus on people, planet, and profit. Or we know. I think most of the people, when we talk about this, we are more familiar with the social, environmental, and economic. Okay. Then from triple bottom line, we can go into sustainable development. In sustainable development, normally the focus on impact or development measurement on the social and environmental. And then from the economic, they are looking for sufficient and healthy business growth. Okay, that's how these three elements combine. Okay, now let's focus on triple bottom line. Okay, some basics of triple bottom line. This was coined or introduced by John Elkington to measure sustainability during mid-1990s. Actually, about 30 years already, more than 30 years already about this. Then ideally start with the accounting. It's an accounting framework to measure the business performance, the corporate performance. They start in America, so now already dispersed, already exposed to global. Then you can see TBM reporting can be important tool to support sustainability goal. So when you work with the sustainability development, the concept, or we call the framework of triple bottom line, we must have a basic idea on that. Okay, and then the TBM or triple bottom line accounting has been grown across profit, which is they start with the corporate, and now they already enlarged to the non-profit and also government sectors. Okay, this just some basic. We still quite difficult to understand on triple bottom line, right? So now the idea is triple bottom line is the performance measurement went beyond the traditional measure of profit. Okay, normally the business only measure the profit and return on investment for the shareholder value, but with the triple bottom line, we also include environmental and social dimension. I start read about triple bottom line last few years. In 2018, I start learn about this. During that time, I just read, but quite difficult to get the idea. So through exposure this project, then I start understand better what is triple bottom line. In general, I can say it changed from basic the way business measure their performance normally on the single bottom line, which is profit. So I think this is quite common for us, right? When we deal with the business people, with the company, they always measure profit. Okay, so profit actually is single bottom line. This is common use in the business. Then triple bottom line, they bring a new concept, a new framework where the business profit actually refer to business performance. Okay, they refer to business performance. So with the triple bottom line, the business performance no longer measure only based on profit. So they also will measure based on non-accounting element or non-financing performance, which is social and environment. So this is what we call triple bottom line. When we do the assessment will include these three elements to measure the business performance. So that's sorry. Okay. That's how the way we measure the business performance. Okay. I have a lot of experience doing this. Last time when we do business presentation to one of the SME company, a few times actually with the SME company, when we bring the idea of solar thermal to them, talking about the climate change, talking about the carbon emission reduction, a few times the business owner asking me that we need to really understand the business actually measure based on single bottom line. So they say, it's quite difficult for them to engage with these elements, carbon emission, because the business fundamental is profit. So how they can profitable by doing that? So for them, it looks like by taking considerations on carbon emission, it will be a costly for them. Okay, that's the way they look on this. That's why we say the company still remain with a single bottom line. The company still engage, still measure the business based on single bottom line. Then when we work with these 6 company that I list earlier, the discussion is totally different. Okay, when we work with them, what they means, if they are not providing or they are not having a good performance in terms of impact, in terms of sustainability development, in terms of either environmental or social, they might losing the business. That's quite big thing for them. You're losing the business, so you consider like you're out of this business. It's more scary. So that's when we work with a company that already understand the triple bottom line. Then is it okay to remain in the single bottom line? That's a question for the company, because we can see current development, the engagement, the requirement to be sustainable become higher and higher. So if you remain in this single bottom line business performance, then it's quite risky for this company actually. Okay, especially if you are looking opportunity to grow your business. I mean, to engage with a multinational company, or you want to export the product. Okay, that's one thing. Okay, then okay, so from the triple bottom line, now we start looking into the project creation. So by understanding of the requirement of the fundamental or the framework of triple bottom line, now we look into sustainable development. From here, we can start looking to derive the project. Okay, I think most of you, I believe, already quite familiar with this figure. We have 3 circles here: environmental, social, economic, and always represent the sustainability development. And on another side, sustainable development goal, where we have about 17 goals. Before this, when they start, they have like Millennium Development Goal, which is only 9 goals. Now with the SDG, we have 17 goals started in 2015. Okay, when we work with the energy, you can see here for the sustainable development, we always work with when we work with energy, we work with the SDG number 7. Okay, we focus on SDG number 7. This information actually is free. You can surf in the internet. There's a lot of information, especially under United Nations. You can find a lot of information on SDG number 7. So they have a lot of elements. They have a what they call target. They have the performance. You can read from. You can get a lot of information from there. So when you work with SDG 7, definitely also impact into SDG number 13, which is a climate action. So that's why I put here, this is critical for those who are working in the energy. SDG number 7 and number 13 is become your main means the main reference of the SDG to work on the project. Okay, then you can see from that you also can advance the impact of the project. You can link to SDG number 8. You can link to SDG number 3. You can link to definitely number 9. You have a project target definitely on energy, because number 9 is for UNIDO project solar thermal. We work closely with the SDG number 9 actually. Okay, then from here I also list under SDG number 11, the one for city development, building. For those who work with the buildings, you may refer to SDG number 11, and then we have SDG number 12. For your information, our government the government already developed a reference or guide on the SDG number 12 for the consumption, the equipment related with the energy, related with the climate, related with the carbon emission. You can refer to SDG number 12. Okay, that's how we strategize. Like me, just to share with you, I also have my own company. before I engaged with the UNIDO last time, I'm closely work based on SDG number 7, 13, and 3. I do a lot of study, a lot of research on how to link my services related to SDG number 3, actually, because I'm more, actually my exposure more to the buildings. So we can see a lot of significant impact to work with this SDG to in line with our services. Like example, if you work with the buildings, energy strongly related with the indoor environment. The people demand for the good environment. So this, you can link your services into how SDG number 3 can be created, can be fulfilled based on your services. Okay, that kinds of how we can use all this information as a business tool or to improve our services. We are not only talking about cost saving based on energy. We are not talking only about how we reduce, how we improve energy efficiency, but we also can link the services that provide into the comfort in the building, how it have an impact to the people good and good health in the building, well-being in the building. There's a lot of information in the internet. Actually, you can download, you can learn, and you can improve the services based on this information later on.
Encik Zafwan,
Yes.
we have one question here in the chat
Okay.
box. Okay, if you don't mind, okay, I think it's quite. We just take it as this kind of like a break in between, right? Okay, so one question here from Encik Rahmat Shazi. Thank you, Encik Rahmat, for asking. Okay, can you unpack a bit on the social dimension measures for TBM?
Okay.
TBM, triple bottom line, right? Can you unpack a bit, just elaborate further? Maybe I would anticipate you wanted to know further. A little bit more elaboration on the social dimension of the TBM, if you don't mind. Please take 1 or 2 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Normally for the social impact, they work more focused on the, if let's say you're a company, so the measurement based on like the gender issue, the employment issue. Okay, that's why in Malaysia you can see there's a lot of problem with the social impact in terms of corporate. Like example, we can share with you the glove company. So I don't want to name it the company, but there's a quite big issue when they export the product to America. So some company already was barred from entering the product export to America. Why? Because it related with a social impact, with a social negative social impact to the company. The what they call, the company not take care of the workers. What they call the condition.
Foreign workers, especially,
foreign workers.
The well-being and all that.
Yes, well-being of the workers. This is under social impact of the business. They will look into your staff. They will look into your how you take care of the staff, and then they also look into the growth, the improvement of the staff in terms of, do you provide in terms of education of your staff, improvement, and then they also work into outside from the company, how the business have a good impact on the social. I mean, like if you notice, mostly the big company, I do some study that some big company like in financial business, they contribute in the sustainability reporting from their social, what they call CSR project. So in the CSR project, there's quite a numbers of projects where they do in terms of rural development, education for rural development. They also involve with the education on based on gender. Okay, then they also have a project where focus on the woman empowerment. So that's kinds of social development in terms of triple bottom. We can see start from the triple bottom line, how they incur into the business development. Okay, now just to share with you, I just came back from Kapit this week actually, Monday and Tuesday. We are involved with one of the project research in UiTM Shah, which is the project sponsored by British Academy. They have a fund for that to understand the energy transition. So they look into the social impact of the energy transition for rural development. You can see now the government, they put quite a lot of fund for development, rural development in terms of infrastructure, the electricity. They change from the diesel to solar thermal. So they have a study to look into when they implement it, they put solar thermal in the village. How social impact to this group. So actually, there's a project I involved right now with the UiTM Chalam. I just came back from Kapit last 2 days. That's one of the social that you can learn. So let's say if you're a company, you also can look into this as this is CSR, but CSR nowadays can be as also include as a sustainability reporting. So for the company, you can look on this. For the practitioner, you also can provide your services to help the company on this development. Is it okay, the explanation?
Yeah, I think you can continue. I think I'm also enlightened your answer as well. All right.
Okay.
Thank you. Carry on, Jazawan. Yeah.
Okay. For the sustainability reporting, as I mentioned, I will not go deeper on this because for today's sharing, my focus more on for us to look into how we can benefit from the sustainability reporting for the practitioner to look into this, and for the company how to develop sustainability reporting, how you can engage with the energy practitioner to assist you on this, because on this part we are working on the environmental impact. Okay, I'm more focused on the environmental impact for this presentation. Okay, watch on this. Okay, now this is a second element. This is quite interesting. This is why I think some of you aware about, like I mentioned just now, Bursa Saham already implement guide, actually sustainability reporting guide to public listed company. Why? You can see it's related with the development right now. There has a lot of fund where this fund actually only can be used, will be fund for those who have a good impact on ESG is for ESG investing. These are for sustainable development. So there's a huge fund. If you can see here, about 13.7 billion fund, which is as a company, definitely the operation we need to lend. In normal business, we need to lend money. We need to borrow money. Okay, we need investor. So all the time we need these services. We need this support. So now for the company to grow, you need money. So when you need money, if you're a public listed company, you are looking for fund for investor in this market. So they have a huge fund, but in order to get it, you must be a sustainable company. Okay, so it's not only in Malaysia. You can see it's not only in Malaysia implement sustainability reporting. We have you can see Singapore, Philippines, Hong Kong, Indonesia, and Thailand. So if we are not ready for this fund actually for Asia, we are might losing behind. Okay, there's a lot of company out there. There's a from Singapore, from Philippines that looking for the same fund. So that's why it's quite critical for the company, okay, to grow. Okay, I remember in 2019, I managed to attend one training, 2 days training, which is provided by MGTC, which is this training provided by True Cost. This is company S&P standard company. So this course actually focusing on green project assessment. So we've been trained to assess green project in order to tap into bond market, okay, or sukuk market. So how to assess the company or the project in order for them to tap into bond market. So quite interesting. When I joined that project first, I'm not really understand that, because in that training it's not only only a few technical people, but we work more with the bankers, with the bond rating company. So that's how they do. Okay, we as a technical guy, we evaluate the project, and then for those who in the investment market, they do the assessments on the bond rating. So it's quite interesting. But during that time when I attend the training, I'm not really understand what is the requirement, why we have this training. But over the years, when you work with UNIDO project, then I start open up myself to go to look into this. How critical the company need to be sustainable. Okay. So now we look into the environment impact. Sorry for this sharing. Actually, when I discussed with Zaini, focus on the energy practitioner. That's why I'm giving more focus on the environmental impact rather compared to social impact. Okay. For the environment impact, you can see for the reporting or for the development is involved with a common practice that we already practices right now for energy manager, like energy consumption, fossil fuel consumption, GHG emission, carbon emission. Okay, and then extra we can have water management, solid waste management, hazardous waste management. Okay, land use. Normally land use always involved with a palm oil company. Okay, so this is quite common already with us. So, but the way we deliver normally, we are encapsulate in EMA requirement, in AMAS requirement. So with that experience, we can providing more services to the company that in order to be a sustainable. So that's a new perspective for us that we can look into. Okay. And then for UNIDO project, we also work close with the banks. We work with several banks actually. Then from there, we also look most of the bank. I'm not saying most, all the bank actually, which is work close with UNIDO. They already have sustainable fund. They have a green fund, but as mentioned by them, less takers. That's why they work close with UNIDO because they have a huge fund, but lack of investment. Because lack of project that approach them for this. Okay. Then if you can see, this is we can see from financial institution from the project perspective, you can see now the interest or the financing already moved from high carbon economy to low carbon economy. And in the future, if there's one article that I read called they focus on the cost of financings. Okay, later the cost for financing, the cost for insurance will be increased for high carbon project. If your project is not green, cost of financing become more higher compared to those projects are green or compared to the green project. That will be happen. I'm not sure very in Malaysia very soon or not, but this already happened outside. Okay. Okay. The last part on the capital market. You can see this is a company that provide the training last time, S&P Global True Cost. Normally I read a lot from this information, get more information from this S&P Global True Cost. There's a lot of activity, a lot of financings, a lot of developments, which is focused on climate change, which is focused on natural resources improvements. Okay, which mean for those in this background, it's good for us to have this knowledge, to equip with this knowledge in order to provide our services. And because outside, the company need a lot of support from those who have this knowledge actually. Okay, so I think this is my last because almost I promised Zaini around 40 to 45 minutes. As a conclusion for this presentation sharing, actually, the idea is how we can change, not change it, we can improve as a practitioner, how we can improve only from looking from EMA, looking from AMAS, ENMI 50001, but how we can incorporate this knowledge that we have, this skill that we have into sustainability development. Okay, in order to work on the project creation with the company. So that's a conclusion for my sharing today. I hope you can get good information from this, and I'm open for discussion after this and any comment. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Josephan. Can you unshare your screen so that we can see everyone?
Okay.
Okay, I think I feel not enough because I wanted to hear more actually, honestly. Anyway, I think I didn't really realize, how fast, the time was flying, because I saw giving so much attention into it, right? Okay, so anyway, I hope others who join this session, share the same, some excitement like I do. Okay, now okay, before we come to the, to that some kind of, conclusion or something, can we? I would like to open the session now. To any of you, to ask any question, even if you want to share your thoughts, your experience, okay, what you feel about this, where we are now, so can you just feel free to share? Can you unmute your mic? Okay, if you unmute your mic, you can share. And open the screen to everyone now, please. Anyone? I can see some familiar name also here. Okay, please. Encik Rahmat Syazi dah buka video tu. Okay, please unmute your mic.
Oh, ya ke?
Yes.
Okay.
Please, Encik Rahmat.
Okay. No. I didn't realize I turned on my video.
No,
I must have pressed the wrong key or
since
something.
you're radio, so it's a must for you to ask questions.
I see. So no, I mean I just would like to thank Tuan Zafwan for explaining about the social. But if I can just add, where the thing about the TBM is that when we talk about social measures, we end up measuring the societal measures. Kita tak ukur hakikat tentang kemasyarakatan tu. We actually look at, okay, this is how we're going to contribute to the society. When in actual fact, that leads to societal measures. For example, in a company, we say, okay, gender equity, we give, for example, more job offers to ladies to balance everything. Now, that's on the surface, we think it's social. But when we look deeper, it's actually societal. Yeah, this is something I learned recently to understand. Hey, why we've been measuring social? When actual fact, no lah, my friend from UKM telling me, no, that's not social measure. This is societal measure. Oh yeah, so what social measure? So he was talking about this lah, macam tu lah. From Anthropotech UKM. So thank you for Tuan Zafwan. Now, perhaps we want to clarify clearly what TBM is. Should we measure societal or social measures? Perhaps somebody from university can clarify what is the best direction for long.
Okay, thank you for the sharing, Encik Rahmat. Because you are from Bernas, I see the background is from Bernas.
Actually, sorry, that's actually my training background. We actually deliver training for Selangor State. Bernas is Bengkel Rantai Nilai Inovasi Selangor.
Okay,
that's what happens.
Bernas. So I would like to ask, where Bernas in the company?
Tidak.
Anyway,
Apologies for that.
Thank you very much. Encik Zafar, would like to add anything? Want to add, Encik Zafar?
Thank you very much, Rahmat. Actually, on the social part, also quite new for me, because mostly we focus more on the environment. Because from my background, we are more on the energy. My focus more on the environment. So as a social, I agree with you, but I also need to study more detail. And thank you very much for your comment about social and societal measures. I will look further on this to have further discussion.
You got something on project already. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
So how about others? Anyone in West here? Hafizah Hanim, okay. MJ Muhammad Jamal, KKR Muhammad here, Cik Batia, Jesuta Jovital, Jotival, yeah. Cik Azri from UMP. I can see from the screen here. All right. And any questions? Any thoughts? About this topic what we discussed today, shared by Encik Zafwan.
Cik Zaini, I have one question only.
Okay, Encik Jamal from where? Encik Jamal, you don't mind?
I am from Maybank.
All right. Okay.
From Maybank headquarters, Jalan Tumpera, KL. Okay, Cik Zafwan. Actually, my boss is sending his regard to you, Cik Sharizan. I think maybe you know him, Sharizan Muhammad Suhaimi. Yeah. Okay. Never mind. My question is about this solar thermal approach. How far? I don't know whether my question is sounds technical or commercial, but we wish to know about this solar thermal. How far that we can apply for such a high-rise building, or in a low-rise building with a huge horizontal surf area.
Right.
Okay. I think Cik Zafwan, do you get my point?
Yep.
Okay.
Jamal, your background very natural. You see, sounds of bird there. So very good.
I apologize for that.
So no problem. So, sounds nice.
Okay.
Very natural.
Right.
Okay. Cik Zafwan, thank you, Cik Jamal, for the question. Cik Zafwan, please.
Welcome.
Okay. For solar thermal, actually, there was big in terms of application. you need to have some differences, some different concept of thinking compared to solar PV, because people always confuse with that. When they talk about solar thermal, they think the application is always on the buildings, similar thinking like solar PV, then the demand. Actually, solar thermal is because we produce thermal or heat, which is delivered normally for Malaysia application, we deliver through via water. So that's why the demand of the buildings is very critical to look into. Like solar PV, when you install, you can export to the grid, you can sell to the grid. Okay, right now in terms of new scheme, you for your own consumption, by any excess you can supply to the grid. But it's totally different concept when you work with solar thermal, because solar thermal is totally based on your demand in that building, the consumption in the building. So from the study, normally we work with two types of building only, for hospital and for resort, because these have a good demand in terms of solar thermal application. Like the commercial buildings, shopping mall, is less application actually, because it's a very small application. So when you want to install solar thermal on the high-rise building, for what type of consumption, what types of demand, that's what you need to understand. Okay, for the residential is a common, your application definitely for shower, but for building itself, normally we can see like for hospital, for resort, they have a huge consumption. But for others building like commercial buildings, office building, is less significant for solar thermal actually. Yeah.
Okay. Right, that's
is it
great.
okay?
Understood. All right.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
boss.
Okay, is there any more question from others, please? You maybe can share your thoughts, what they think, where are we now, or you have nothing to worry at all. So anyone would like to share their thoughts?
Assalamualaikum, selamat petang.
Salam, ya, sila. Encik Zulhelmi ke?
Yeah, Zulmi from Gas Malaysia here.
Yeah, Encik Zulhelmi.
So, yeah, okay. I basically just want to know more about the one that Cik Zafwan explained just now about the solar thermal energy. And I was thinking that, my assumption before that is not literally supplying the hot water to the user, but also like generating some electricity out of the STE lah, the solar thermal energy. Is it something that Cik Zafwan working on it? Yeah, until the electricity generation.
Okay. Talking about solar thermal, we have two different technology. Okay. What I mean two different technology is the collector itself. So we have a collector that work well with our environment, which is a diffuse energy. In Malaysia, for solar, we are exposed more to the diffuse energy. Because our condition is cloudy, we have a lot of cloud. So the technology that we use more can work well with the diffuse energy. But then working with diffuse energy, the energy generation from the collector is smaller compared to the direct sunlight technology. Okay, for direct sunlight technology, this is where people use for electricity generation. At the moment, the technology that available in the market, not for electricity generation from the solar application, not yet suitable for Malaysia environment. Okay, not yet suitable for our environment. That's why in UNIDO, we are not focusing on solar thermal application for electricity generation, because the technology available, the technology that available in the market right now, not suitable yet with our weather condition. The project is focused more on the thermal generation to supply for industrial applications. Normally we work between below 120 or 100 degree C for industrial application. Yeah. Probably in the future, when they improve the collector for direct sunlight, probably during that time there will be a suitable for Malaysia for electricity generation using solar thermal. Is it okay enough, the explanation?
Yeah, okay. I think hearing this, that there's still a limitation in terms of application in the industrial field. For example, like the boilers, boiler user and all that, right? So, like you said just now, it's only limited up to 100 degrees C. I believe this is only, you know, up to the boiling point of the water, right? So it's not up to something, you know, the steam regime for the usage of the industrial prayer or probably the boiler usage, where the one of the major user for the fuel, for example, is either from the diesel, from the biomass, as well as LPG and also natural gas. Just want to share with you guys that most of the companies now in Malaysia is now pledged towards the ESG, environmental, social, and governance, right? So they start focusing on the transitioning their usage of fuel. As easy as the firstly, I mean, in terms of diesel, they need to use the B7, B20 and all that, but also they are changing into the gas power. I mean, the cleaner side of carbon available at the market, and also moving forward towards the hydrogen regime. That's what happened now, lah. But surely in terms of commercial, we are still looking at what I mean the most feasible and also, you know, competitive way of producing this kind of fuel and everything. But at the moment, as a gas industry, we are supplying the natural gas and also a small portion of biogas. A small portion of biogas. So on top of that, based on my public knowledge, they also compensating the carbon emission by buying the REC, Renewable Energy Certificate, as well as the carbon credit at the moment. Is there my other question with regards to the carbon credit? With regards to the carbon credit, is there any initiative with regards to your solar thermal energy to in relation with the carbon credit initiative as well? I mean, by using your solar thermal energy initiative, it will then offset the carbon emission, also acknowledged as the one of the source of the carbon credit for the industrial use.
Okay, Mr. Jeremy, I think I can elaborate further about the application. Just now, the question is about solar thermal application for electricity generation. That's what I explained about the different technology. But when you mentioned about the boiler application or for the steam generation, we also involved with the kinds of project. Okay, when we work with the solar thermal, for diffuse technology, diffuse energy, which is suitable for our market, our conditions here, they have several technology, but come with a different price. So normally the affordables means the more relevant technology that we use right now is between 100 degree and below or 120 below. Even they have a technology that can produce up to 200, but then the cost so much different. That's why we not really focus on that. Second, when you work with the boiler to produce steam, actually you can use this technology, even the low water energy. Let's say you have a solar thermal that can work well with 100 degree and below. You also can use with the boiler application for steam generation. The issue is, the technical part is the integration. How you integrate solar thermal to the boiler system. We have a few, even they have one project that we are working right now. We work with the boiler for steam generation, and how we implement solar thermal integration at the what I call feed water itself. Okay, they have a lot of integration to the solar to the boiler system. We can integrate solar thermal to the feed water. So instead, when you want to produce steam, okay, you have a water feeding into your boiler, and then you need to increase it. So that will count your energy consumption, the fuel. If you use diesel, there's a lot of diesel required. So you can use solar thermal to heat up your feed water. So you heat up feed water from the, let's say, 25 degree, you heat up to 60 degree. Then that 60 degree water will go into your boiler. Then you will reduce the diesel consumption. That's kinds of integration that we did for our project. In terms of carbon credit, to be honest, I'm not in the position to elaborate further, because what I do right now, not much on the carbon credit project, but I'm not really right person to discuss further on the carbon credit. I'm sorry for that. I don't have enough information, latest information on the carbon credit. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Cik Zafwan. Thank you, Cik Zulmi, for the sharing. I think we also enlightened by your sharing. So
Okay.
I open to any more questions from any.
Assalamualaikum. Cik
Abu
Zaini.
Haris, please.
Apa ya?
Our regular participant. Yes, please.
Okay. I wish to congratulate Saudara Zakwan for enlightening us. Probably is another concept, I think, because I would like if you can elaborate further into the last slide, because it seems that you are trying to migrate, from practitioners to sustainable development and into sustainability reporting. Tapi kalau tengok dalam slide tu, you ada mention tentang EMMER, itu mutus akta tu. Normally kalau kita ada asset management thinking, it's more toward the tabi urus tu, the government. Kemudian IMAS tu, it's just like ISO 50,000. It's only talk about standard of the energy management system kan, so that we have throughout the whole world we can, because it has to come from the parts punya ni lah. I think public I can't remember the full. Tapi itulah, how can you really compromise towards coming up with your sustainability reporting, because sustainable development is very big agenda now. It comes from the masih dalam masa kat agenda 21 lagi, tahun early year 2000 dulu lagi, 1996 kan, sebelum dia orang come up with the SDG goal tu. So I think kita ni ini on energy, tapi dalam sustainable tu ada economic, ada social, ada kan. Jadi how can you compromise that supaya probably ini mungkin intro ke, sebab apa, maybe dia kalau tengok pada global sustainability reporting kalian maybe ada ke, presume macam tu lah ke.
Okay, thank you Haji. So Encik Zafwan, maybe you can elaborate on that query. Yes, please.
Okay, Haji. For me, actually, I'm not saying to migrations, okay, from the RIM or SAM migrate to be a sustainability or sustainable manager to look into sustainability reporting. But what I believe as an energy manager, we are not work alone. Okay? We are not work alone. To go SDG number 17 is about collaboration. Even when we work with the company, actually, this is direct exposure from me when we work with a project under UNIDO, right? So we are exposed to the sustainability development based on discussion with the company, and I'm not alone. We have a lot of people there. But what giving a new concept for me? Normally, the way we think as a RIM, we only focus on IMA requirement. 2008, there's a list. There's a common practice, right? We have a list. Okay, this company have a requirement to implement IMA 2008. That's a perspective that we have. Okay, but when I work with this UNIDO project, we found there's another, another market or another exposure, how our knowledge can be incorporated. That's why I put that incorporate with IMA 2008. That means we know the requirement for the company. They need to come up with the sustainability reporting, which is they need to do sustainable development. Okay, how we have a RIM, we are RIM or we are SAM, how we can incorporate into this development. That's my focus. So then to do that, we need to have a new perspective. Also, we need to have equipped with the new knowledge. We need to understand the sustainable development. We need to understand how people come up with the sustainable reporting. Or we also need to have a new knowledge how to analyze sustainable reporting in order for us to provide our services. Okay. I'm not saying you need to migrate from RIM to become a sustainability manager. I'm not saying that, but this is one of the exposure that we have. Some might be want to migrate. It's up to them. But we in energy, we are not work alone. We work as a team. Okay, so we know the company need to do sustainable development. We can provide our services. Okay, we can support the team in order for sustainable development, because if you see in general, they have elements of economic, they have elements on social, then they have element on environment. So if we see more detail on the environment, they have elements of energy. So this is where we have expertise that we can provide the company. Yeah, that's my perspective actually.
Sebab sorry lah, sebab probably I'm a civil engineer.
Okay.
Normally when talk about the project creation, we start to to improve further in terms of the punya asset value. Kan? Then when you want to improve the asset value, there's only element of cost, costing tu. Jadi bila ada costing tu, are we trying to say that sustainability reporting ni will convince for those from the accountants punya background to convince in terms of the project punya realization? Is that what you are trying to say?
Nowadays requirement to be sustainable is there. Is there? Like let's say if my example, the company from Ireland, that company E. Okay, in order to sustain the business, because the client already commit with the accounting, carbon accounting, scope 3. In order for this company to survive their business, they also need to be sustainable company. Right? So in order to be a sustainable company, there's a lot of things need to be done. Okay, so on the environment part, they work with us directly for energy development, for the energy improvement from solar application. Then they have a lot more. So that's why I think for the practitioner, it's good for us to have this information. Yeah.
I think Saudara Zani, probably we need to have a separate discussion.
Yes.
Yeah.
You are very Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think maybe we can have a session with Aji,
Okay. Looking forward. Looking forward.
Okay, actually, I have a question. Okay, I think, for example, that you showed just now, all big companies, right, multinational and all that. Okay.
Yeah.
My concern is that, right, because these big companies supplied by small companies, SME, SMIs, right, as a vendor, and all that. Normally, they're always the value chain, right? When imports at the top, right? Subsequently, you have to meet all until the lower part of the supply chain, right?
Yes.
So my concern now, right? So the capability of our SME, SMI, because they are the backbone of the country, right? I think that I can see. So the capability. What do you think about the capability to meet this requirement? Otherwise, subsequently, my concern is that all the big giants, have to source their product or the parts, from any country that meet the requirement, China, even cheaper and all that. That's my concern. So what do you think about that lah? How our local, SME, SMIs, to be able to meet to this? Subsequently, we come to them because these big companies supplying the product direct, but they are the one that's supplying the parts, to complete the product, the part of that. And then one thing. Okay. Secondly, do you agree with me? The way I look at it now is no longer technical issue. Put aside, because solutions are expected from technical people. You are supposed to come up with that solution. But the challenge now, the way I look at it, how to link the business to the sustainability stuff lah. And that's so do you agree with me? So technical no issue basically to me. And the issue now, how technical people, to package their solution to link to the sustainability features lah, whatever goal number 7, 13, 12 or what. So can you just enlighten about two questions, two things? Yeah. HMI on that. Yeah. Thank you very much, Zafwan.
Okay. Okay, then for your question number 1, there's also my concern. I'm also worried about that because, as I mentioned to you, when we when we do a training or discussion in Terengganu, right? So we had an opportunity to discuss with the YPU. When we elaborate further on this, they also worry. They worry with their SME. Okay, they're worried with the company in Terengganu because they. I'm not sure whether they never or they less exposure on this development. And then from our experience, we exposed to from data that I showed to you, we involved with about 120 to 140 company. Okay, and in general, when we work with the SME company, the thinking very much on single bottom line, totally on the profit, totally on the profit. So when we work more with the public listed company, because this is project requirement. We need to come up with a project. So when we identify that public listed company, the thinking, the perspective different, MNC also different. That's why we start move from SME to approach more public listed company and MNC. Because that's like you mentioned, M&A thinking, SME thinking, still on single bottom line. A lot of exposure need to be done. A lot of awareness need to be done. Because if not, later on, when the requirement, when a lot of company like public listed company, if you see the trend, public listed company, they start more engaged with the company accounting. Then for those SME company might facing a lot of challenges to provide their services to this company. Okay, that's question number one. Question number two, I do agree with you. I'm a technical guy, but when we involve with the UDIDO project, to the end, I become more exposed more to the business modeling, business thinking. Yeah. I have to think on that way. I have to think what the company, the business model of the company, what make the company survive from the perspective of sustainability. Okay, and then the technical actually is enabler. So the company want to go from A to B. I mean, from here to here in terms of sustainable performance, in terms of sustainable development. Technical will become only an enabler. I'm sorry to say this, but that's my own perspective. I found technical become more enabler. Yeah, that's.
We are not important. Somehow, to make it happen, we need to get a convincing part lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so thank you, Encik Zafwan. So we have about 4 more minutes left. So before we wrap up, I open to any. So maybe any can share what you think about this session. Or how can we improve the future sessions? Any idea, or even want to suggest any topic for a future one? Okay, please, anyone? Mr. Sam Au here, Mr. Sudhakar, Kumar Rasami, Lim from Trio.
Yeah.
Yes, Mr. Sudhakar, please.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Very interesting presentation. I like the whole concept of sustainability reporting, and from the beginning aspects of energy, economic, and environmental issues. I think there was very good discussion on energy and environment aspects. So one aspect which was little bit not fully covered was the social aspect, which I also was being a technical person. I also find it difficult to understand what are the social indicators which we should consider when we do the sustainability reporting. Because there are so many indicators. Economic, we are very clear with the net present value, rate of return, and so many other terms, very easy to understand. And technically also performance ratio, energy yield, and efficiency, all these technical terms also very good to evaluate. But when it comes to the social indicators, it's very confusing. How will we account for the social terms, like how many employees got benefited, what is the social value which we add to the project? So is there any specific indicators we have, standardized indicators we have to do the assessment of these kind of projects? Because especially when it comes to solar thermal projects, the beneficiaries are the industries as a whole. So how do we account for the social aspects of these kind of projects? So this is what I would like to know. Thank you for this wonderful presentation. I would like to have more further discussion on this topic in the next other meetings as well. Thank you.
Thank you. You give me topics, so I have to look for expert in social, social part of the sustainable development. So that's my challenge now. Thank you to give me the task. Okay, thank you very much. Mr. Boon. Yeah, I saw you raise your hands. Please.
Yes. Tuan Zaini, thanks for the session. It's very comprehensive, and also perhaps something may be new for engineering, but I just would like to share about this kind of sustainability, especially the last slide. Mr. Sazwan showed that all the 17 SDG actually. Beside the manufacturing, now we're having this world-class manufacturing. Although now the SME industry may not feel the impact yet at the moment, it's slowly going to feel, because we're talking about globalization now. So anyhow, everything will be linked together. and eventually even this NGO. Now NGO is starts building up and encouraging about this SDG, the 17th SDG, whatever relevant to their area, their aspect of roles, they are trying to fulfill this SDG. Actually, despite of these professionals relevance body, they have like scouts, like this Red Cousin, all this the NGO, they are implementing the SDG. So I feel that just a matter of time, everybody, every aspect, every industrial, they would born with this in this sustainability. So this what my point of view. Oh, so thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, I think we are now at 4:30 just now. I think I give 1 or 2 minutes, Zafwan, to wrap up, to give your final say for this session. Zafwan, maybe your what you want to say to the audience here. Just only 1 minute, 1 minute, please.
Okay, sorry. Okay, for short while, from Mr. Sudhakar and Boon, in terms of social impact or social development, I'm also still learning on that because quite difficult for me to understand also. But I found in trend in Malaysia, there's a social enterprise which is focused on social impact business services, providing services to the company, a big company. Yeah. For this wrap up, I say there's still a lot more need to study. Even myself right now, I'm studying on the innovation, looking into the best project practices to support the sustainable development. There's a lot more huge topic actually. This topic is too huge, and we're still I'm still at the beginning. So a lot of things need to be done. A lot of things need to study. But whether we like it or not, we are moving on this direction right now. That's what I'm seeing. And then for the practitioner, we need to equip with the business thinking about sustainability. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you very much, Zafwan. Thank you from me, from all of us, right, for your very enlightening sharing. Okay, I can hear that you are talking from your heart. All right, I can see how you really radiate that so-called enthusiasm to all of us here. Thank you very much. Okay, with that, I think thank you very much for those who waited until now. All right. For those who wanted to get the slide, please email to the email that you received the notes, the invitation. So I can reply to you the email. Zafwan has agreed to share the slide with whoever wanted to have a copy of that. Okay. Just a quick reminder, for upcoming session. All right. The next session, live sharing during the fasting month in April. Okay. On 1st of April, I will have the Energy Efficiency Law Forum. Okay. Because we're going to have the act, will be tabled to Parliament this year on energy efficiency and conservation. So there'll be a forum with 3 speakers on 1st of April, 3 p.m. Friday. And then on 15th and 22nd of April, for those who wanted to become a registered electrical engineer energy commission, I will conduct the free guiding workshop for those who wanted to become a RIM. Okay, please join, just register. For both events, just no charge. Just go to the zaini4e.com and then you just need to register just the way you register for this event. Okay, with that, I think thank you again, everyone. For 33 of you waited until now. Okay, we reached the number of almost 50 plus just now. I'm also honestly, I'm very humble to see the response. Okay, I hope this sharing somehow will be useful to each of you. Okay. Of course, we cannot stop learning. The SDG is there, okay? The net zero is there. I think we cannot do all ourselves, so we have to contribute the best possible within our expertise by having this kind of big picture sharing, right? We know where we can link, where we know where we can integrate, or we can synchronize. We cannot do this alone. Okay, that's my opinion on that. Okay, with that, again, thank you very much, everyone, for the sharing. This is Friday. Okay, have a goodbye weekdays. Okay, welcome weekend. Okay, my last word. Okay, wherever you go, stay safe. Okay, stay safe. Okay, and don't forget to stay healthy as well. Okay, with that, thank you very much, everyone. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. If you want to have anything, the slide, everything, just email to training Okay, training@zainipoi.com. Thank you very much. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Until we see you at the next sharing session. Okay, bye.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi.
Okay. Assalamualaikum. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone.
Thank you. Thank you.
Afwan, Cik Zaini. Thank you very much.
Waalaikumsalam.